I can't take you seriously with those headphones on. Does the camera even see what I'm looking at? No.
Are you ready to roll?
I'm ready.
Welcome to Thicc Boy Fight Club. I'm your Balkan boy.
Tyson the Beast.
And with us today, we got professional Canadian comic, Bankas.
What's up?
Legend. But before we get into it, shout out to our sponsors, Top Mud Studio, Kangen Water, Major Pack, Just for Kicks. Who am I missing? Kimura Wear, Bearded Bites, Spores Bars. Get that mushroom chocolate. And yeah. Also, Thicc Boy Shout Out Restaurants. For me this week, it's going to be Royal Mezgov, the food that you could see here in the video. I just looked it up, and it's like the best Arab food in Etobicoke, probably Toronto. Iraqi restaurant. I got the meat platter. The beef lamb kebab was fire. You guys all tried it. It was good. Yeah, Royal Mezgov, right on Kipling, right next to Extreme Couture. Tyson?
For me, spot right next to me, George the Greek. George is Greek.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Really well-known spot. A place that I was going there a bunch when I moved there. Didn't even know it was like that popular. And then I would like see random people I knew who lived in other parts of the city there. Like really popular Greek spot. Got all the Slovakia, all the fire stuff. Really high rated on Block TO. Once again, Lakeshore Etobicoke, right next to me. The best food in the city. Yeah, that's my spot.
It's hard to prove you wrong so far. Ben,
What
you
do
got?
I do?
Restaurant of the what?
Some
Give
spot
us a
you like
shout
to
out.
go.
A spot you like to eat at.
McDonald's.
How
You gonna be like
dare
Doug
you.
Ford, bro? Come on.
How dare you.
Shout out McDonald's. They got the craziest nuggets out on the legit. Fuck. Subway.
You like to eat at the Annex
I'm just
Social?
kidding.
What about the Annex Social?
No, straight up, yeah. If
There
Annex
you go.
Social. I mean, I don't know if they're
pass.
open
No?
for like they might do delivery. Annex Social. They don't
You know,
have
you
nu-
did
they
all
don't
your
have
shows
nuggets.
there, and you've eaten all the food there.
I
so.
know. I don't know how to be serious. I shout out to the Annex Social. They have amazing burgers. Try the chili burger. They do. I think they are doing some ordering out. You can also go there and like buy like weird. They're doing some like retail. So, 1078 Bathurst Street, Bathurst and DuPont,
Your ends.
or McDonald's.
Yeah.
It's between them and McDonald's.
Between them
The
McDonald's.
thing is, I know somebody last night was like, there was a McDonald's right across the street, and I was like, so I want McDonald's. Like, I'm going to go because it's right there. And he's like, go support like a local place. And I'm like, ugh, they don't have nuggets. You know what I mean? Like, that's why these companies are just, people are like, don't support these companies, but also, fuck, I want a coffee and a drive-thru at fucking 2 a.m. You know,
It's true. Of course.
true.
You can't knock the people that are working there. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No, they hustle. And they'll kick you out right when they close. Like, we tried to walk into the McDonald's, and they were like, we're fucking, get out. It was like 10:02, and they closed at 10.
Yo, McDonald's probably sees like the craziest stuff after 2 a.m. Just
least
think
in
about
this
that
city.
one. Just think about that one on Spadina and Dundas.
They probably see a lot
The
of drunk
things that
people.
they
King.
see. Oh my.
They see a
Lord.
lot of drunk people in their cars driving.
Yeah.
Like,
what's
I've
that?
been drunk in a drive-thru and like just been like,
But what
saying
about
crazy
when
stuff.
everybody shows up after clubbing and stuff back in
Oh,
the
bro,
day
it's
at the
freaking
McDonald's,
treacherous.
right around 2,
yeah,
3 in the
well,
morning.
that'll
Ooh.
never happen
I'm
again.
sure there's.
So nothing to worry about.
I know many hope he's wrong, but he's probably right about that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wouldn't even want to go to a club now, just based on probably the type of people who would be like ready to go right away. Like, I don't want to be like around that, like just people like, I'm so you're die on it's crazy. Like, just people are gonna get shot day one when
Oh, it's
everything's
gonna be
open.
madness. Just like
It's
at
gonna be
Trinity
madness.
Bell was that one time where everyone was drunk right away and like wiling out.
Oh yeah.
When you suppress people this long and then you let them out to drink,
But now they can't go to Trinity Bellwoods because of Asian lives. ALM. It's funny because ALM was All Lives Matter, and if you said ALM, it was like you're a racist. And now it's like ALM, and it's like and they bow.
I never peeped that. Word.
ALM. Which ALM? Oh, suki. This Asian arrives. They need to do ARM. Asian Lives Matter.
Well, I know how I'll support
Arm?
Asian lives. I'm gonna be
called
going to
Arm.
Asian
I never even
restaurants.
thought about that thing. Like now it does sound like it used to be all lives matter was racist, but you're right. Like because there's brown lives matter now, black lives matter. It's like
called
you say all
Arm.
three. It's almost like you're saying all.
There's just the one you can't say.
The blacks?
Oh, our lives matter.
Yeah.
Like
well.
the sentiment.
Oh, the whites.
the
Which one? Oh, you
whites.
can't say white lives matter. No, you literally can't.
No, that's not.
Like white lives matter. It'd be like you piece of gar.
But yeah, you may as well just wear a white hoodie that says privilege across.
Even
it.
saying
I'm
saying,
gonna buy you. I'm gonna get you a hoodie that says that. And that when people get mad, be like my black friend bought it for me.
saying Jewish lives
know.
matters. Saying Jewish lives matters is like on the line.
Oh, you can. Yeah, you can say it. You guys are good. You're blessed.
You guys are good.
Yeah. You don't want to go around being like Jewish lives matters. People are gonna be like,
People won't get mad at that though. You're blessed.
they won't get mad, but they'll be like, no, they don't. Like, they won't get mad, but they'll be like, yeah.
Oh man.
White lives, yeah. Who cares? Who the fuck cares what? Like, does any like? I don't know. Like, do you wake up every day and just your first thought is I'm black?
Nah,
No.
Like,
he knows that. Yeah,
that's
you know.
kind of what the news makes it seem like. Though.
No, I know, and like, and
Does
listen,
that piss you off?
So listen, I've gotten into arguments with some of my boys like in the States because like when white people aren't around, like I know how we act. So sometimes when I see some of my friends on the internet, like when there's like a moment and they'll get into a little rant, I'm laughing because I'm like, yo, I know you. Like I know what I don't want to say anything dry snitch, but like it's sometimes funny the way some people act on the internet as opposed to like real life. Like it's not as
what
like
do
when
you guys-
LeBron James was complaining about, you know, how he feels a black man. And I'm not knocking it. He's almost a billionaire. That same week his son got caught smoking a blunt in his like $100,000 vehicle on Snapchat. It was kind of like, it can't be that bad if your son is swagging like this or while everyone else is like not working, losing bit. Like, it can't
I
be
would.
that bad.
I don't know. I don't know how many people would trade places to like, let's say, you know, be Bosnian back home.
Yeah, you're
Or
Bosnian.
or
I say that to people all the time.
Like to be like, you know, in some of these Eastern European countries to be back home, probably still better off.
The
being,
Caucasus,
Can I have
like
some of that weed?
Dagestan.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
the
Sponsors Cushion Kangen.
cushion. Is that the same people who make the water who grow the weed?
Yeah, I think they grow the weed with the water.
Holy
There is
fuck.
actually a whole video about that, about the water, how it like helps things grow. Period. Like the plants, like it's like 30% faster. It's like a whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, what were you just saying about? We were talking about race. I forget. It was funny.
No, yeah. So like me and him talk about it all the time. Like if I had to take being born like where he was from as a white guy, I'm taking my chances in the hood out here.
You
Like,
think your chances
all
Kansas
day.
City, right?
In
Yeah.
Kansas City, St. Louis.
Yeah.
out
Oh
to
no, but you're talking
here.
about how like LeBron's like, yeah, racism exists, and then his son's
No,
just like
racism
hitting about-
exists, but he was
It
talking
exists,
about how hard his life is
But
as a
like
black
everybody
man.
knows racism exists. It's
Yeah.
like saying like fucking violence exists. You know what I mean? It's like
It's a part of
violence exists. It's like yeah, like what the fuck? I mean, people are animals. Like
You gotta get over it.
we're trying to pretend like we're just these like ultra civilized humanity. We're like it's 2021. We're not. We're actually more savage now with all the like creepy fucking shit that's like we have access to all the
It's true.
time.
Yeah, it's
you
true.
know, to just be like doing all kinds of different weird shit.
Tree of
Talk-
knowledge.
So
Yeah.
That's exactly what
it's
it
a
is.
terrible.
The more you're aware of, the darker you can get.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if people are just like, you know, farmers, it's kind of funny because farmers, people are like, I want to just go be a farmer, right? Like, because it's like, whatever. They're all, now it's like farmer TikTok. So, like, if you're a farmer and you're not famous, you're a bitch. So, it's like, even if you become a fucking farmer, it's still like, and how many TikToks does your cow have licking out the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, every fucking, it's crazy. Have you seen these farmer TikToks where it's the guy
I'm
like
so
yelling
glad
at a
I'm not on
goose or some
TikTok.
shit?
I'm not
and
on
it's got,
TikTok. I only see
4
TikTok on
million
Instagram.
views. The guy's like got like 30 million. Like the guy milks cows, and I'm trying to do this.
The TikTok thing.
Well, it's something. I mean, fuck.
Have you tried
I
dancing
want
yet?
to I want enough people follow me that they can give me money.
Have
Yeah.
you tried dancing yet? Doing any of the dances?
I can't do that.
I promise you, if you start busting out some of those dances, your shit gets
I
lit.
can't. Well,
promise.
my thing is I want it
I
to
want my
get the
percentage
views
when you
for
blow up.
the specific thing.
Yeah, of course.
But like, cause like I know there's like comics like Nima who are like, it's Friday, time to, and I'm like, at that point, like I wouldn't want to do a comedy show after that. Like, you know what I mean? I saw you dancing on TikTok. Now tell me a joke about Kobe's death. Like, you know, it's kind of bizarre. But
well, fuck
The
you.
mix though might do something for you. You never know. Like it might, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, if
Maybe
I catch you a
should do-
month
maybe I
dancing on
should do a
TikTok,
dance. I don't know.
But what do you think the future of comedy is?
good call.
Dancing on TikTok and doing lip syncs on TikTok.
I mean, it looked like what you did was almost like a last stand. So me and Ben met. I'm working security for this guy. He had the balls to put on. We called it the protest. We called it a protest, right? So you wouldn't get
I don't know
ticketed.
if it was balls or just like boredom.
But he gathered.
both.
I think at during the pandemic last year in the summer, you had like probably 1,000 people in attendance at what
Yeah.
park was that? What's the name of that
Bickford.
park? Bickford Park. That's right.
Yeah.
Good
And I was
times.
banned there for 30 or 90 days.
Well, I mean, the cops showed up several times and didn't do anything.
Yeah, and then they were like, "You're trespassing now, and you have to leave." I'm like, okay, whatever. I mean, that was the beginning of this shit. Where you think back to last summer, and it really feels like
Way
before
more
the
lenient.
pandemic.
Yeah.
Like it feels
Yeah.
like it was before the pandemic, but it wasn't. It was still the pandemic.
Yeah.
So it was like the beginning of testing, kind of the authority and doing that shit. Because now I think if you do it, they'll just come down way harder. Than
All
they
right, this
did.
summer will be.
I think after seeing what they did to some of those protesters, you would for sure get put in handcuffs and taken away.
Probably, yeah. And they would take the speaker and they would do all kinds of horrible stuff. And you know, that's just the future of it. And the type of people who become cops are not like the olden days where cops were like, you know, the old people act like I think I don't know, but I think cops are worse now in a way. Like in the back in the day, you know, maybe it was a white thing, maybe not, but like if you were in a small town and you were drunk driving, the cop might pull you over and maybe drive you home, but you're probably not gonna like go through
It
all
wasn't
this
as big of a deal. It's
It was
true.
like they actually cared about the people.
Yeah, they serve the community.
Like they're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's Bill, he's drunk again. You know, we'll figure it out. You know, we don't want him. But now it's just like everything's well, you have to go and here's a ticket and a fine. And
But
a
I
thi-
think
it's like,
most
what the
cops get
fuck?
tricked. I think most of them don't realize that like there's a status. I always say the biggest problem is how many laws we have. It's not the cops. Give them less things to police. You'd be amazed how if certain things became legal, the police would have less things to be.
Well, they tricked us
harassing
by
people about.
legalizing weed, and then they made like 70,000 different laws after that.
They're like, here, take this, and here we go.
We're like, wow, this is where we live in such a free country. And like 2 weeks later, it's like that's the only thing we have is shitty weed stores with terrible weed that nobody actually buys who smokes weed.
I don't buy there. Do you?
It's no different
People
to me
who buy that
from here to
weed
5
are
years ago.
sad. Like, do you ever like hang out with people who have like government weed and they're like opening the jar and they're like fucking swiddling it around and then and it's bad. It's like
I
dust.
actually haven't. No,
It's like
I don't know-
dust. It's
I don't
so
know anybody
dry.
who does that. I don't have
smoke
friends.
that
Terrible.
weed. I smoked this weed. Pass that joint.
This weed's like crazy. It's crazy good.
So like I just saw that they banned virtual like concerts. And I thought that meant like for us to watch it from the States, but I guess actually doing it here in Toronto. So like as somebody who's like a comic, what like
Yeah, I
what do
don't
you,
understand. It's what live events.
So
are?
we can watch other like cities and people's live events.
But he
So-
can't put on a
like,
live
he
event?
can't put one on in here in Toronto. So like
What if he's by
Is that
himself
true,
just
though?
ranting?
Yeah, that's the
that's
thing.
what
So
they're
I'm gonna
saying.
I'm just gonna be like,
Who's gonna-
okay,
they're gonna bust
are
the
you
door
gonna-
on you?
Yeah, they're gonna
What's the
like
difference between that and
find my
TikTok?
Zoom account and like
well, they're
show
not.
up.
They're just putting a standard of fuckery in my opinion.
It's crazy, but
You know
I
what I
think
mean?
it's almost now making people who want to do it are going to make more money because they're going to be like, here's a show. And people are going to be like, okay, well, I'm buying it. I heard it's illegal, but what is illegal? Like, what is illegal? I'm in my house alone with a fucking microphone like this, looking at a camera, and there's people watching it, and they're
Well, they made it
barely
illegal
laughing.
for a bunch of people to just laugh at a park, socially distanced even. You know what I mean?
Well,
so
that
think
was
about
the funny
think
part
about
where
that.
the
Laugh
cops
at a
were like,
park.
every time people
put it that
laugh, every time they laugh, a cloud of.
Oh, is that what he
What
said
a-
to you?
They were
Someone
trying to
said
say
that to
he
you.
didn't,
Was
like,
that one of those bylaw
yeah.
officers whose
Fire
name was
side.
Coward?
Trying
That's
to,
bro
like-
science.
Oh man.
That's bro
I remember at
science.
one point one of the cops was we were talking about it and he's like, we're ignoring the main problem here, COVID. I'm like, that's like no, that how is that the main problem? You're gonna go to a park. We went to a park. We went to a show. Even if you fucking get COVID, unless you are, and I'm saying this as somebody who I don't know if I've had COVID or not,
I've probably had
but
it. Who
I
knows?
probably have. And you're just a bitch. I'm sorry. Like,
I mean,
I mean, some people. I mean, I know some people get it and then they die and it's weird, but it's like, It's
But
kind of like
humans-
George Carlin's joke. It's like
humans
your
die.
immune system sucked. I mean, when
Listen, I might die today, and that's just the price I pay.
Humans die though. I don't
what I
understand
mean?
how we've gotten to this point where we think that you can avoid it. That's why I'm confused. Is how they trick people and think you can.
Well,
just
I
like,
think the government thinks that they can keep us alive longer or something. I don't know what they're trying to do. Like it's not the government is beyond making money. Like I think it was better when the government was like, we should be a country that makes money, like or has like a surplus of money to spend on things that, and then blah blah blah. But
Well,
now
we
it's
have
just
that
this
sur-
debt.
we have that.
These
surplus.
governments love
now it's
debts.
just a debt
love debts. They love
surplus,
pandemics.
our debt cycle where they just don't. So like it. None of their decisions are based around like how we should balance the budget. It's just like crazy. It's just like,
Well, this is the thing. The
we need
more
to save the world. Like if we're just taking out money. It's like going to an ATM and just be like taking out money and giving it to homeless people and just throwing it in the air. That's basically what they're doing.
But we have more money than ever in history. It's just where it's allocated. So it's like the people who are in debt are like lower. Like there's more billionaires than ever in the world. So it's not like that's the problem.
Yeah.
Money is being made in North America. Like,
But a lot of the
you know,
money
that's not the problem.
But the country's printing money too. So like the money every time you make $15, if you do $15 an hour, at the end of your hour, it's worth less than $15. So like,
It's
what
true.
the fuck?
It's true. Inflation is the ultimate thing, right?
That's why everyone's buying like Bitcoin.
It's like
Or
it's
gold.
like a thing of milk now. Like it's like $7, right?
Well, I'm sure all groceries are gonna go up by the end of
Yeah,
this
why is
year.
milk so expensive up
They
here?
are. Everything's
I
so
peeped that when I came. I was like,
I thought it was subsidized,
It's weird. And then I found out later on it was because like we have some weird thing about not letting like American farmers. I was like, words. I was like, why is milk and stuff up here so expensive? It was weird. I missed the bag milks, but that came up and I was like, what? Like,
Yeah, I mean the States is objectively a better country and people now think that that's not true because propaganda on TV. Like,
Just look at your phone bill.
The idiots that I hear talking on the street in my area, talking about like, but we're Canada, we're supposed to have good health care. It's like, yeah, but we don't. We never did. And you're an idiot. Like, have you ever fucking broken a bone or anything and gone to a hospital? They do not give a fuck.
you've had some horror stories up here through surgeries.
My
Yeah.
mom's calling me. Can I just answer for a second on the show because this is super annoying? But
Yeah, no worries.
hey, Deb. Mom, what's up?
Oh, I just want to tell you, you don't have to pick up anything for me. I got Stefan to run up and get me stuff.
We're in the middle of a podcast.
Hi, Mrs.
all right.
Bankas.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
That was really sweet.
Yeah,
You're a good Jewish boy. That was sweet.
I hate her. I can't stand her. I mean, I love her, but
That had George
I literally
Costanza vibes, like,
I
your
drove.
mom's on your head. Like you know,
I
that
checked my
was
voice.
sweet.
I had 15 voicemails from my mom. Is it sweet or does it make me fucked up for life? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is it cute or do I have mental problems now? Because I check my voicemail and it's my mom going, "Hi, wonder where you are. Where'd you go?" Then the next one crying, "I don't know where you are." Like, it's sad. It's terrifying. I hate old people, and now my mom's old, so I automatically have to hate her. No, but I love her, but it's crazy. It's like she has a sixth sense about podcasts specifically. So it's like if I'm doing like yesterday I was interviewing a comic from the States, Aaron Berg. Check out the Ben Bankas podcast.
Ben Bankas podcast.
She just started doing dishes. Like that far away, and I couldn't say anything because I'm not gonna interrupt. But then after I'm like, why would you do that? She's like, I don't know. I didn't think you could hear it.
Water running.
Fuck. Like, like just fuck me. It's crazy. But I guess like you just kind of have to roll with it and be like, that's my mom, she's doing dishes anyway.
That is like
You
that's
just
straight out
hear,
of a
like,
sitcom, bro.
It's crazy. Yeah, my life is a sitcom.
Ben needs his own sitcom.
It is a
fully convinced.
sitcom at my house. We have a gay neighbor named Stefan who's actually been on my podcast on Patreon, and he just like
Just cuz or like what? Like
he's hilarious. And
Without trying.
I just without trying to be. He's just like, if he was here right now, he'd just be saying crazy shit. He's just like, that stupid whore in the building said that like he's just constantly calling people. He's trying to fight people all the time on the street. It's hilarious. And he just busts in the house. He has a key to my house, so he's just like sometimes he's just there watering my plants. He's like spilling water on my laptop. It's terrifying. It's a crazy life.
yeah, your life is like a sitcom.
It's bad.
So what is your plan now moving forward with the rest? Like as you see what's going on, because for people who don't know, we're being this is on Wednesday as it's being
This is
announced.
lockdown.
I'm gonna become a
This is on the
I'm gonna
official,
become
so
a
we don't know when you'll
Mennonite.
see it, but yeah, this is
I want to
Wednesday
become
the
a Mennonite
7th.
and move to a Mennonite community and get a horse
That's blessed, brother.
And tell jokes
get
off
my dick sucked
by horseback.
Yeah, tell my jokes by Vonophone. I don't know. Which was
Start a TikTok.
It's like crank. Yeah, start a TikTok account as a Mennonite. That's the thing. Like you join Mennonites and then be like, we're on TikTok too, bitch. Like, you're
So the
rich
Mennonites,
shit.
they're allowed to.
You can't
it's not
escape
like
it.
Amish. They're allowed to get down with the.
I don't know. I just go buy honey and eggs from them from time to time.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between a Mennonite and like being Amish?
I wish I knew.
It's just different areas.
We don't have
like
Amish
they're
here. I think we just have
They're
Mennonites,
they're
right?
the
Just
same
Mennonites?
thing. It's just they're
Pennsylvania has
Amish
the
are in the
Amish.
States and Mennonites are pretty much a Canadian thing.
I hope that's not
I think there's Mennonites in the States, right?
yeah.
Or
there
maybe
is.
I don't know.
I think you're just.
We don't have.
making it up.
There is.
I don't know who the fuck. That,
Maybe-
people with
maybe
the
like,
hats and
Jamie
the
could, like,
horses
figure
and
it
they
out.
don't believe in lights.
Yeah.
I want to be them,
They're blessed right now.
but they're
They're
also
living
on
stress
TikTok.
free. They're not
Yeah.
trying. They're not hearing none of this. They're not
I
worried about
don't
none of
want
this.
to.
They're
I don't.
kicking it.
I don't. This
Yeah, you want
world,
COVID to end? Just smash the TV.
Like this studio's
They're
great,
kidding.
and then you look outside, and there's like a building from like Ukraine in like 1972, and you're just like, this is the
That's
rest
a good
of our
description.
lives. This is the rest of our lives. But there's like the lake, and on the other side of the lake is literally America.
What a
And
view.
We don't go because we're worried that we're gonna like trip and fall one day and have like a $3,000 hospital bill and like kill ourselves because of it.
Well, all our sports teams are in the States now. In Florida, kicking it. Texas. Blue Jays just played in that big ass stadium.
Yeah, the
40,000 people
Blue Jays
kicking it.
have always. It's kind of funny. It's like they've always been an American team that's just in Toronto.
Well, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and
It's
then
all
as
sports
soon as
teams.
something goes down, where Toronto's like, we're communists now. They're like, we're leaving. And they're like, we're in Florida.
yeah,
Whoopsie.
Raptors is the same thing.
I love
The
how
Raptors
nobody's
is the
woke about
funniest.
that. Nobody's woke about like the Raptors are literally in Tampa. It's
I've been
like
bringing it up the
everything's-
whole time. Like, you do realize, like, none of these rich families seem to agree that this is that scary. They keep going to Florida. Florida is supposed to be the scariest place in the world, but every time somebody needs to make money, look where they're all
Dude,
going.
everybody who goes to Florida says like it was on the news the other day. CNN was like, when you go to Florida or Texas, it's like going somewhere pre 2019. I'm like,
It's like
what the like? They're so crazy. Like, why do people who work at these
It's true.
news companies legitimately like want some like crazy world where you know everything's crazy? Like, why?
Well, it benefits if you're on TV. It benefits you if people have nothing to do but watch
But
TV.
I mean, but like I don't. At a certain point, you'd probably get more. Like if you were Don Lemon or one of these fucking losers, and you just one day told the truth, and then
Listen.
and then they fired you, and then you just start your own thing and be like, I know everything about CNN. I work there. They're full of shit.
Yeah.
So
then he'd end up.
so the
then he'd
idea
end up
that-
shooting himself in the head, though. You know,
like
he'd be he'd
like
be
what's his face?
like a Jeffrey Epstein type of thing. Yeah,
So
I don't
then-
think-
well,
I don't
maybe
think
that's
he's
what
that.
happened with.
Do you think Don Lemon doesn't have access to like restaurants
Children?
and stuff he wants? Well, that too. But
fucking
like,
him
no,
and
but serious question. Do you
him,
think
Lil
any?
Nas X and that other fag dude who puts makeup on Charlie D'Amelio, who's like raping 16-year-old boys?
Oh, I heard about that.
They all like meet up and then
So wait, because I think that the reason they don't care is because there's people who have access to restaurants when you're rich. They're like, I don't think these people are worried about it. Like I
I don't
honestly,
think the pandemic affects rich people the same way anyway.
yeah. So I don't think when they're doing this is because they want to live the same way. I think they actually have more freedoms to begin with. Like
but
so
rich
they're not
people-
worried about it. They're able to have access to restaurants if they want it. They're going to like they're not worried about it.
rich people are pissed off. Especially depends how you're rich.
Yeah, it depends where you fall in the rich.
Depends on
like,
how you're rich. Elaborate on that.
If you're rich from an industry that is affected by COVID, then you're fucked. You're pissed. If you're rich from like the
Entertainment.
opposite,
Yeah, as you're
you're
loving
getting
this.
rich because it's bad, then yeah, what do you care? But eventually people will not want to vote for these parties, so there will be another party eventually, and people will vote for that. They will just stop voting for the liberals and the conservatives if there's a new option, because
we'll see.
the liberals and the
I see
conservatives
Churro
are,
staying forever.
some people think
Just
people are
dictatorship.
just-
crazy
I'm
enough to
just
believe they're
accepting.
like Jagmeet's gonna win, and you're like, if that happens, we're like not even a country anymore. Like, I'm sorry, but we're done.
Oh, I mean, I think they already have their plan. I don't think any of these elections are gonna make a difference. I think we already. I think we already know. They already know what direction this is going.
NDP is basically like a fake party that's like a wing of the Liberal Party, and they just kind of puppet them, and they're like, "Do this. It's too crazy for us to do, but you can do it." And people will vote for you, and then it'll take away from them.
It makes them seem not as left.
And then we'll win.
Yeah,
we'll win because we don't seem as.
Because that's how the game is. It's like take a little bit from the right so that we can take, majority. Because the conservatives can't, like Aaron O'Toole, and I don't know, we don't have to talk about this, but he's a loser. And the only reason people shouldn't have to talk about this, but they should use their voices to talk about things they care about. He's a loser. He looks like a Teletubby, and he's not going to win. And he's trying to put a fake tan on and lose weight and pretend to be like fucking Trudeau light, and he's not. He's terrible. He's literally, people are leaving the party because of him. They hate him. So because he's just a totally gutless lying piece of shit, right? Like he just totally like, we are not going to do this. And then he's like, we're doing it, And it's like, well, nobody likes you now.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to matter. I think Trudeau's saying it anyway.
Yeah.
So what's your TikTok so people can find? Like, where can people find you? What's the name of your podcast? Give people all the lowdown.
At Ben Bankas,
your Instagram.
BenBankas, benbankas.com. You can just go to my website. It has everything on there. Links to the YouTube, the sketches, podcast, Ben Bankas podcast. And, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, at Ben Bankas, Facebook, at Ben Bankas Comedy, YouTube, at Ben Bankas Comedy. And, fuck yeah. Join me on Patreon. Support me. Give me money. I need to leave my mom's house before I do a murder-suicide and kill my dogs and jump in front of a train. It's $1 a month, and we're upping it to $4.50. So, I mean, if you can't pay for this, you're telling me you can get this somewhere else, then fuck you. Yeah, that's my elevator pitch.
Well, thanks again to Top Mud Steels. Ben, thank you for coming by. I'm Tyson the Beast.
Yeah.
Yep.
How long was that?
Our producer gave us the round.
Did you check us out?